Greetings one and all, and welcome to Mech Mechanic Simulator. This is going to be quite the ride. Maybe I should not have muted the music now that I think of it, because now when there is no music and nothing for me to do, I must talk. And I must talk rather frequently to fill the dead air. I'm going to be very nervous on camera, or I guess on microphone, for probably forever. Oh, here he goes. Wait,
You're finally here. Your competitors were not as lucky as you are, and they are still sitting in their holes. And you got this gem.
Okay, I can move now.
You know how hard it was to find this place? And unregistered mechanics are still being prosecuted by the authorities. Since you're operating in a somewhat gray area, they'll surely make me your partner in crime. Screw me apart and make me a blender or some other tool. Just be careful, okay?
Sure. Sure, we can do that. Just do whatever they say, I guess. We need to get an official license as soon as possible. Without it, no one will ever risk giving us a bigger job. Get it. I'd actually go ahead and continue the tutorial, just because.
Here you can see the list of all currently available job offers.
Yep. Legacy. It's the only job available to us right now, so I might as well go ahead and looks good. Let's figure out what we need to do here. Obviously it looks pretty dirty, so we should clean it first. After that, I think it said, yeah, repair one.
We need to find out what's damaged in the mech.
Yes, that's... Yes. Clean and button. And, yep. And now let's scan it. And it is a really low amplitude. That middle phase there. Let's just get this on the road a little bit more. Looks like there's something busted in the right arm. Held together by screws, so we gotta get screws first. And that will be carted over to one of these two here. Excellent. Well, aren't you persistent? Okay, now I have an arrow, so I just move the mouse in that direction. Probably the only annoying part about not disabling the tutorial is the constant bombardment of tooltips, which, you know. to be expected. Okay, now we get to actually remove the problem piece. Now we flip over to assembly mode. You do that by either pressing Q or E, and then you select the piece that you wish to reassemble. Now, because we're supposed to repair the part or replace it, we have to go into the shop. So it's down here. This button will just take you directly to the shop, and you can buy any fully repaired piece of any mech that you need off the shop if you have the money. We'll go ahead and buy this piece for the what looks to be normal price of $1,800, and we'll put that one in instead of the unrepairable piece that we had to take out, and then we will just put all of this back together. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Only one screw here. Set that back, set this back, and now that it's fully the arm is fully reassembled, we can reattach it to the mech and send it back to whoever sent it to us to be repaired.
When
I'm so used to skipping his dialogue. I think.
Don't you dare clear my memory.
Okay, he was in the middle of a thing. I think I interrupted him. Oh, they're taking the mech back, and I just got paid. Okay. You can enter the shop by pressing I on the keyboard. I don't think you can change the controls either, which is something worth noting. Oh yeah, we should probably get another thing. So we could do another legacy and we have to repair 3 parts on it, which in this case is just replacing them. You know, for a little bit more money, but I feel like I want to do something for Vico instead of the Husky. Or the Husky? I don't know how you say it. The Android says it occasionally. Let's work on Vico's Minotaur. It'll give us a little bit more money than if we were to work on the Argus that they have, which I think the Argus is a Husky creation. Which you can out of my way. Thank you. There are 2 parts to repair, which means that there are upwards of 2 limbs that have busted pieces on them. And there you go. Alright, so there's at least 1 leg. Okay, both the legs have busted pieces of them. I hope that doesn't get too expensive for us. And just a 2-part detachment for both the legs here. At least for a Minotaur, which is good for a military model. Having, you know, only a few parts for a military model can be good if it's for scouting around, and for just figuring out where the enemy is for the bigger guns to deal with it. That's actually really, really good. But if this was at any point intended to be like purely for frontline combat or for taking a lot of hits, I would probably be a little bit worried. Oh, that's okay, so 6 screws on these total, and I take that off, strip this away. I have to take these bits off next. Then I have to take these wires out before I can take the frame around them off. 4 screws. Okay. Now I have 4 more screws that are technically entire pieces that I have to remove. And I just take these parts out and I can remove the problem bit. Yay. But now the issue with that is that you have to repair, or I'm sorry, reapply all of the pieces that you had to take out, which gets to be very annoying very quickly for some people. And for me, I'm definitely already annoyed. After this video goes out, I'm probably going to play for the channel something else entirely. This will just be one short video where we go from having $0 in Mech Mechanics Simulator to having probably just the first few stations. I should probably point out that I am skipping a lot of the cinematic stuff by pressing the escape button on my keyboard. I've learned to do that from a lot of the late game, where you have a lot of deadlines that you have to meet, and skipping the cinematics helps a lot with that. And
I should be the boss here.
Now that everything is reattached properly, I can finish the job again. And off it goes. This is also a cinematic that can be skipped if you press escape, like so. And now that we have at least $25,000, let's buy a company license.
Now we
can create our own company logo and name. And I want something that looks kinda peaceful. Nope, no. Way too much aggression in that one. That's not it. Not it. I don't want an RIP thing. Yeah, that can work. United Mechanic. United Mechanics, good enough. Uh-oh, my mouse is on the fritz. There we go, I fixed it. Yeah, make this whole thing white, actually.
Thanks to us start.
And then I'll change the background to black so that it looks good. Station shop will be available later. I need to go to here and sell my parts so that I have a bit of money to do another job with, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do any jobs if I only have like $3,000 in the game. Let's go ahead and take this Minotaur off of Secure Technologies and repair its one part, because again, we only have $4,000, well 4.5, but still about $4,000, and we can't really afford to buy a lot of mech parts right now. That is also a cinematic that can be skipped if anyone is interested in knowing. And with that, this is also a cinematic. I think I'm just going to start skipping all of the cinematics as I can. Okay, so this part is going to be far easier to repair. Or, I'm sorry, replace, simply because you don't need a lot. Okay, so this one is actually 2% down, I guess because the demand isn't very high right now. Always especially in the early game, always nice to see a part that is on discount for any amount, especially when you are very limited on cash like we are right now, only 2.8k, which can be very painful, especially when you don't have the ability to take out a loan in the game yet. And done. We got paid, and we actually also have prestige level 1. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and do this Argus that Vico wants me to repair, because we've been doing a lot of Minotaurs, regardless of the amount of money that it'll get us. And I'm going to find out what I need to do to repair this particular part, and if we can buy the station for it, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I would also urge you to do this. Always get your repair stations up quickly if you can, because the more parts that you can repair yourself, instead of having to buy them off the market, definitely the better. You will save plenty of cash that way. Okay, yeah, so this one would need something to do with corrosion, I believe. And we saw, even if only for a split second, that there is a decorrosion station that we can buy for the company. The station shop, there's a decorrosion station, and we can buy that.
The decorrosion.
Now, the decorrosion station, I actually probably like this minigame the best. We're working on an Argus right now. So with the decorrosion station, the controls are just, yeah, it'll actually show over here. The screen will display a list of parts from your inventory that can be decorroded, and you can select one of them. It needs fuel to work, so if you don't have any fuel, you need to replenish that before you do the task. You can also start the process at any time once you select a part. I'll probably do this part because it looks easier. So the station uses a laser to remove the rust, as you saw from my swift dealings with it. And you can change the size of the laser, but you do have to be careful, because if you use it for too long, or on a surface that isn't covered in rust, you could deal damage to the part. And if you did, and actually on some parts, if they're low enough already, you could make it unrepairable by mistake. You can also freely rotate the part using the W, A, S, and D keys, and I think the air keys might work. I'm actually going to try that first this time. No, the arrow keys don't work. Oh well. Decorrosion is definitely, to me, one of the most satisfying feeling stations between all of them. And that's almost certainly because of how, I believe the term is juicy it feels. It just kind of feels good to be able to point and click at something and have it disappear, almost as if you will it to vanish. And I like that. I really do. One thing to note is that with, I think it's every station, but almost every station definitely, It takes $3,000 to refuel a station once it hits 0 fuel. So keep in mind that you'll basically always need at least $3,000 to stay in business and to be able to do any jobs at all. More especially if you're running low on fuel in like a station or a lot of stations all at the same time. Alright, I'm gonna do one more job. Again for Sakura, and this time on... You know what, we haven't done a legacy since like the very first one. So let's do a legacy. And I'm kind of hoping that this part needs to be welded so that I can show off the welding station. Already have the right amplitude, which is always a good thing. And screw, and remove that. Ooh. Ah. Yeah, that's an electronics part which we can't actually repair right now. So this is an unfortunate situation of we are not able to purchase the station required to repair that bit in-house, so we do still have to buy that part back from the market. Well, we don't have to buy it back, we didn't sell it in the first place, but I'm stumbling over my words here.
For the next paycheck, I'll get myself a laser cannon.
So I'll just cut your pay in half. It's not like you're doing anything around the place anyway. Bloody machine. Alright, I'll just go ahead and buy the other two stations. Tablet and the welding station.
Welding it.
The tablet is basically just you press T, as in tennis, and you have all your jobs. All the jobs that are available to you, at the press of a button, basically. And then there's also the welding station over here, which is controlled very similarly to the decorrosion station, only you don't use Q and E. Do we have any parts that need to be welded? Yeah, we actually do have one. So I can actually show you. You use W, A, S, and D to freely rotate the part, and you hover your mouse over anywhere on the part, and it will begin to glow red as it gets close to a part of it that needs to be welded. Oh, there's something over here. There's also something up here, and this is the last one. Now, also different to the decorrosion station is that in the decorrosion station, the fuel level would only drop when you actually use the laser. In the welding station here, it drops all the time. It's basically a timer. So working faster at the welding station is always a good idea, even if you're not on a deadline. I don't really want to work on a legacy or a Minotaur. Oh wait, there's an Argus that is 2-part repair. You know what? If someone wants me to do a next video on this, this will be the mech that we repair next.